In GTA 3, the Yakuza, or the Japanese Mafia that operates mainly in Staten Island, is considered one of the weakest gangs in the city. Now let's start with why they are weak and on what I'm basing this. First, let's look at their leader, Toshiko Kasen. In his missions, we see that the Yakuza don't have any allies to rely on, unlike the Cartel. We also see that other gangs in Liberty City don't respect him as they do to other leaders. This was probably due to Kenji's arrogance towards other races. He never believed that someone except for a Japanese person could lead to anything good except disappointment, just as he says to Claude.
My sister speaks highly of you, though I'm yet to be convinced that a guy Jin can offer anything but disappointment.
When he was angry, he directly disrespected his men. Overall, this led to the Yakuza not having any allies. When Kenji was killed by Claude, they thought it was actually the Cartel who killed him because of Claude's disguise. Now with Kenji gone, his sister Asuka became the new leader. In Grand Theft Aero, we see that they stormed the Cartel's controlled construction site and took it. You may say that this shows how they were actually a strong gang. Well, not really, because it was actually Claude who took over the site and the Yakuza just occupied it for free. A few missions later, in the ending cutscene of Sam, Ransom, we see that the Cartel under Catalina's leadership went back, killed Toshiko and captured Maria. After that, we no longer see a new leader from the Yakuza, and it's unclear in the lore if the Yakuza actually still exists beyond this mission. So why were they actually so weak, and why it was so easy for the Cartel to wipe them out? We've already covered that they had no allies, but another factor is their armament and financial situations. To understand why the Yakuza was so weak in GTA 3, set in 2001, we need to go back to 1998. 3 years earlier. In Liberty City stories, the Yakuza was actually preparing to take over the city. At that time, Salvatore Leone was in prison and at war with Franco Forelli and Paulo Sindaco. Things looked great for the Yakuza to take advantage of this crisis and take over. They were also pretty well armed. In the mission Shotgun Showdown, Toni Cipriani is tasked with attacking the Yakuza to prevent them from taking over the city. At least that was Salvatore's thesis. In the mission, Toni steals a Yakuza Stinger and goes to their lockup. Upon arriving there, he discovers that they owned a tank. This was terrifying from Tony's point of view, but he did the most logical thing. He planted a bomb in the tank and destroyed it. I mean, why didn't he just use it against the Yakuza, but that's a topic for another video. After this, Toni receives a call from a woman who says she knows him and wants him to come to her condo. Upon arriving, Toni meets the woman behind the phone. It turns out she is Toshiko Kasen, the wife of the current leader of the Yakuza, Kasen, who is the brother of Kenji and Asuka. At the time Kenji and Asuka were not even in Liberty City, Toshiko reveals that she wants to ruin her husband because she feels he doesn't care about her and only focuses on power and control. Driven by resentment, she enlists Toni's help to destroy Kazuki. Toni agrees because it also benefits the Leonis to weaken the Yakuza. In the following missions, Toni destroys a lot of the Yakuza's armament, kills many of their men, and destroys their money while it's being transported from the casino to the bank, overall dismantling the gang's operations. This eventually leads to Toni killing Kazuki in the mission Cash in Kazuki's chips. This chain of events led to a leadership crisis within the Yakuza and forced Kenji and Asuka to come to Liberty City. However, the betrayal by Toshiko and Toni's involvement left the Yakuza in crisis both financially and in terms of leadership. The biggest mistake that the Yakuza made was their poor intelligence and lack of preparation. If they had better informants, they might have discovered Toshiko's betrayal and seen that Toni was working against them. The Leone family was weak at the time, attacked from all sides, yet they survived because the Yakuza never really intervened. If the Yakuza had acted sooner or had better intelligence, they could have stopped Toshiko, prevented Toni's interference, and successfully taken over the city. The reason the Yakuza was so weak in GTA 3 is that this crisis caused by Kazuki's death marked their downfall. Just like Sonny Ferreri's death marked the downfall of the Ferreri family, is the same with the Yakuza. Kenji and Asuka weren't strong leaders like Kazuki. Kazuki was trusted, while Kenji and Asuka weren't. Their weakness wasn't inevitable, it was the result of betrayal, poor decisions, and their inability to recover from a leadership crisis. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching.